We are back at it again here with another video with the Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. Here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, continuing to fight and try to break out above that 379, going towards 380 area of resistance. And today, things sat sideways, and within today's volatility, our SPY bot at 1:15 p.m. sent out a bull indicator. And from that moment forward, the inflows crossed the midpoint to the upside. And with full strength on 42 vision, and call options went up 300% plus within an hour, guys. And you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots, and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. So here we are with the SPY breaking out of that key resistance of 379. Actually had some support here at 375 as we talked about in the previous video. It broke above it in the pre-market, used it as support again today, and it's pushing upwards to break above that resistance. We're going to go ahead and talk about this in today's video and look at what the inflow versus outflow and 42 vision is showing. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunities that were mentioned this morning over at the Discord. So the home runs of the day were spectacular and beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market or receive this edge and clarity of the charts, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. And by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the first home run was from our Tesla bot. Our Tesla bot sent out a bear indicator since 7:40 a.m. And from that moment forward, outflows crossed the midpoint to the downside, going into the bell, and after the bell, pure weakness there on 42 vision, and put options went up 100% plus within an hour, guys. Our second home run, we caught this one early on in the pre-market, DWAC, DWAC. We caught it consolidating towards the bell. Those inflows crossed the midpoint to the upside. It got that bull indicator and went up for a highest point of 30% plus on the day, guys. If you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market and receive this edge and clarity of the charts, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump into these charts. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, and after hitting a double bottom here, you could see these two dip areas of white with red borders. For those of you coming across the channel for the first time, white with red borders is extreme weakness, and extreme strength is when we see bright green, and then the transitions happen back downwards, right? We hit a double bottom here, and then on Friday, a triple bottom right around the same area of support of 370 to 369, and it's bouncing up from there and currently trying to break above the key resistance of 380 that I've talked about in multiple videos last week, right? So here we are after hitting a dip area, going into rip area, and pushing up higher on the 30-minute. I'm going to go ahead and pull up some articles and also the bull and bear indicators and the inflow versus outflow, which you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with the SPY, with the outflows trying to dominate here when things were sitting sideways, and then the inflows picked back up on the 30-minute, held that bull indicator, no bear indicator popped up, and it's breaking out through resistance levels, and right now pulling away from the midpoint on the 30-minute chart as well as on the 15-minute chart, as you see these inflows picked up earlier in the day in the consolidation, pulling away from it, and currently with inflows of 3.29. This is super critical because it still has room based off the last two spikes, right, above the midpoint, where it hit 5.7 and also 5.3. So based off the history of the chart and the inflow versus outflow, not guaranteed though, it shows that it has some room to go even higher if it continues to pull away from the midpoint, and we'll have to see how it reacts the closer it gets to those areas of 5.3 and 5.7. So something to keep in mind there on the 15-minute chart, and here on the 30-minute, it still has room based off the last time it hit 5.8, and that was today here in the pre-market, guys. So those outflows were not enough to destroy the momentum here. That bull indicator did not change, and it's continuing to push up higher here and fighting at a key resistance. Now, let's talk about something that's going on here. So this article here states the S&P 500 earnings estimates for 2023 take a complete U-turn as recession risk loom, according to Bank of America. So they're basically stating right now that everything that's going on is just extra volatility, right? And everything that's going to come as these rate hikes continue and the CPI data and inflation is still running pretty hot, because even if inflation falls, right? Let's just say from 8% eventually in the next few months to 7.5, 7.7, 7.3. That is still a high rate year over year, right? And month over month too, over time of inflation. And it's going to take a lot more work for the Fed. Another thing too is they're basically stating that earnings are going to continue to actually shrink, and Goldman kept their price target of the S&P 500 of year end at 3,600, which would mean back down here towards this support, or even lower, back down here to where this last bull indicator popped up on October 21st, which was back here at around 363, 362. So right now we're pushing upwards. There's a lot of speculation going on. We have midterms this week, right? Then another thing too is the hopium that CPI data prints a little bit cooled off. We'll see what happens there. And everything is just currently in a volatile state. So after CPI, we'll know what this means for not just the S&P 500, but also big tech. Where is Apple going to continue to do, right? Or go, actually, better said, right? Is it going to continue to consolidate here and bring itself back up? Or is it going to do another leg down even lower? Look at this big drop here in the last several weeks and days, right? From way up here in the 150s. This right here shows us how much volatility there is in the markets. And we want to keep that in mind, that a lot of these major banks have not changed their price targets. So the key levels I'll be watching, the first support is 376 to 375, and below that will be 372 to 370. And I'll be watching if these inflows actually turn into outflows by crossing the midpoint to the downside, and how far will it pull away to the downside before finding a support, and if this bull indicator gets canceled with a bear indicator. And to the upside, I'm going to be watching if these inflows could continue to push upwards, and if the strength can continue to pull away from the support here of 376, 375, and where that bull indicator popped up. And also I'll be watching on the 1 hour chart if things can continue with strength, guys. This 1 hour chart got those inflows to cross here towards the end on Friday, and then here it is on the pre-market, continuing to stay above the midpoint, and currently right now pulling away from it from down here at the inflows of 3.67 to 5.97. Now, the resistance that I'm watching to the upside is 382, and above that will be back up here towards 385, guys. Those are the key levels I'm watching here within the volatility. This bull indicator has not been canceled. It continues to hold strong here since 374, and those are the key levels to the upside and downside. I'll be watching carefully here. Lots of volatility, lots of opportunity, and I'm going to continue to watch these inflow versus outflows and bull and bear indicators. I look forward to seeing your thoughts down below. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.